let's not go around the curtain. No, but I want him, after being on his podcast yesterday, I want him to start it because we bumped him at the start, so come on, start it.
This is shambles. Welcome back to the Right to Coot 'em.
No, come on. You did it and we'll get up.
Will you actually cheer this time? We are back on Right to Coot 'em! Right. Mate, that's good enough. That's the worst thing in the world. See when I came out of SWG and I done that, mate, came out and shouted, that was the way when the crowd reacted to me, wasn't it? Disgust.
You need your cans.
I need a can.
What's your name of the Huns? Who's on the other end of the Huns?
Anyway.
I was, by the way,
what are you, left or right-handed?
Right-handed.
Aye. Did you try the other one as well?
Aye, fucking right again. Fucking right again.
Did you do another one as well?
No, I'm past that stage.
Oh, you're right.
You get to my age. You get to my age, you don't really bother.
Fuck's sake. It's a bit sad, isn't it? Because you lost all the time to it.
No struggling for money, is he? Yeezy's the day. Ross must be making a lot now, isn't he?
Aye. He'll pull down.
Aye, no bad.
Aye, rakes it in.
Who bought you them?
The boys.
Did they?
Aye, the boys are good to me.
What does your dad wear on his feet?
Oh, yeah.
Flippers, didn't he? Walks with
Jesus sandals.
Wallabies.
I can't believe, seen people...
Remember Wallabies? Outrageous, eh? How I used to go to school with white socks.
Your dad wears Rockports, didn't he?
What was it, mountain? He wears mountain boots with combats that go them.
The dog shite all in the bottom.
He always makes sure dog shite on them.
Champions League last night. Did you need to open all the windows in the house? Did you do it?
It was a dad's knickers for away from home.
Fire trap boxing.
Fire trap lads. Man was raging.
Dog shite all in his order.
I told you I've said this story every time I went into work, didn't you? They played the Champions League music. I've said that 4 times every podcast I've been on, innit? No, but bro, listen, amazing Champions League, innit?
It certainly is, aye. It's certainly in your house.
It was a pleasure to be on his podcast yesterday.
Aye.
You made a big difference, mate.
It was great, mate.
I'll be honest with you, you did make a big difference.
Great host, by the way.
I bet I get better.
No, you're good.
It's good though when you've not got 4 mutes either side of you. At least when somebody to come on and talk yesterday.
When did you do yesterday? I think
you and Frank done a wee bit, didn't we?
Aye, we've done it. We're always doing a wee bit. So, but Frank's always doing a wee bit, isn't he?
Right, yeah,
that's for sure.
How was that? We used to.
Excellent. Frank just went with every one of your answers, didn't he? He actually did, didn't he? I'll go with you.
I know, I can't believe that. I think when you get in maybe the lower leagues, I don't think that's his level. I don't think he's too interested in, you know.
Oh, he needs to fucking get interested, doesn't he? It's his job.
He's some boy.
He'll be called in the office,
he's too interested in West Ham. He's got a lot he's invested in West Ham, that's for sure.
He was arguing with me last week because I said West Ham could struggle this and could maybe be fighting relegation.
But I've made some good signings now. The boy Phil Leon's a right good player.
No, I was only saying to wind him up, but he proper went mental with it. I've never seen him go like that. He was proper raging. But by the way, I got a few messages, quite a lot of messages last week, a few distressed viewers at you and Faddy going at each other.
It was a bit of needle. People thought it was a bit of needle last week between the two of you.
Not at all. It's opinions, in it? Was it a bit animosity? Was there?
No Faddy on this week, no Faddy this week.
What have you done, man?
I never noticed.
What have you done, man? Where is he?
He's a good lad. He's a Hamilton boy. Isn't he? Sure.
Not heard
Hamilton boy.
You've not heard from him since?
Where is he? Is he just not turned up with he?
No, I think genuinely he was, because he phoned me after it saying I thought Dale was out of order.
He's probably rebuilding that wall that somebody crashed into outside his house.
Oh, that's right.
Some house he's got.
Because remember you put him in his place on a podcast and we've never seen him for a while. I think the same chat.
That's one of the boy. That was one of my biggest regrets, by the way, in my years here.
I need to ask you something, because I'm just looking at you. The front of your hair looks amazing. The back's not sticking up.
I only see if I can't get a shower in the morning, because everybody...
So you know the shower this morning?
Everybody uses it in the morning, so depending on...
Like 3 years in the house?
You said that before you've come in here without having a wash.
Well, that comes in, no?
There's no share a shower.
But he washes both in the
There's no get into the one shower.
Right, so how have you had the shower this morning? So talk us through your routine. What time did you get up at?
I got up about 8 o'clock this morning.
8? And who was in the shower at 8?
My mum was just coming out and then...
Right, so that you've still got 2 hours before this starts.
No, but Marcia goes in and she goes in for a bath and then drowns the bath out and then goes up for a shower. So she's in there for ages.
She has a bath and a shower?
And then she goes upstairs for a shower?
No, in the same room. Oh, right. So she lies in the bath, but you can never really wash yourself in a bath, you know.
So what are you doing while she's lying in the bath?
I'm just lying in my bed and then then I go downstairs to the downstairs sink and I always wash my hair.
In your kitchen sink you wash your hair?
No, fuck off. But can I get in?
Brilliant.
And then I brush my teeth.
Well, the dish is still on.
Aye, fucking right. Slaves don't like your dishes. My family's getting torn apart recently, aren't they?
No, yeah. What a family, yeah.
But see in the day, I don't think you would have experienced it. We used to, now all the football clubs, it was just the one big bath. Aye.
I'd love that.
No,
We still do that in the house.
Is it pogging?
Aye, because see, like in football, right, see when we were back in the afternoon, as youngsters back to the extra, whatever, right, so the first team boys had used the bath, right, the old carbolic soap, right, so you'd go into the big bath, because you were sometimes freezing, and there was fucking like scum out it, and you had to hang it. Right, one time we get back, and Nizzy was in, Big Scott Nisbet, and he was doing the bottom of the bath as we get in, and every player, first team player had been in, he's in the afternoon, he's doing gargling it, going and spitting it up into there. Now, that's not very hygienic, is it no? That was horrendous, man. And what's the first thing the boys clean when they get into the big bath?
Boys.
Aye. They get a good old scrub, don't they? The old hang, first get pulp mat and all that, and they get all carbolic. It's minging, see me hang back. It was horrendous. And then we run.
Was that not Jonathan's job? Was he not on that? Was that not his job to clean all the willies instead of the boots? You done the boots, he done the willies.
It was just hot. See me hang health and safety. You're getting cuts and all that, and the whole shebang is in there.
Were you ever in with somebody in the farted?
Okay, all the time.
He'd right under so that.
But seeing you hang back, oh God Almighty.
That's
But I tell
disgusting,
you what, nobody was get ill or anything like that. I think that's what's wrong. We're too clean now.
My dad still
Your
makes
immune
it all day.
system.
We're too clean.
I
We
like
need
to
get
be
back
bath after training, do you?
I get a bath every Tuesday, Thursday night after training when I get in.
Do you?
For training, aye.
What, at that time, 10:30?
I love it, mate. It really relaxes me, puts me to sleep.
Would you listen to?
Nothing, just I turn all the lights out and just lie in a dark bath.
Did you sing in the bath? Did you?
No, I don't sing.
you
Quiet.
don't. Do you have
relax. I'm
candles
sleep,
now?
man.
Do you sound candles?
No, I'm not all that, right.
No.
It's good that, mate. See, but that's one of my things that gets me to sleep at night, training hard, you sweat, freezing, and jump right in the bath.
There you go.
I wanted to, because Faddy kept interrupting
much,
me
Faddy, last week, I
He's far
thought.
too much.
No.
We never got to
far
speak
too
about
much
Lewis.
sense.
What about, did he play in that game the other night?
No, he's only played against Milan in the San Siro 8 minutes. So
How did he say that was?
Oh, he loved that, but he's frustrated at the minute, obviously because the manager is gone. They get a new manager in.
The guy that signed him's gone.
Aye, you know, but then it's a strange one.
Motta's coming in, Thiago Motta.
Thiago Motta, aye, that's right.
No way, Motta's going to be his manager.
He is the manager now. So it was frustrating start from. I don't know if I'd said to you that he was suspended for the first couple of games. That carries on for here, which is a strange rule. Then he got a wee bit of a knock, a wee bit of a dead leg, but he still made himself available. But he's no figured, so he's frustrated. So I think there was a conversation they had during the week because he's settled in terms of with all the boys. He's in his flat now. The visa's all sorted. So there's been a lot going on. But at the end of the day, and I tell you what, everything's good because financially he's in a good place. But at the end of the day, that doesn't matter unless you're not playing football. So there's a wee bit of frustration there at the moment. But they've had a conversation. I've had a conversation with him. So it's about just getting the heat down, keep working.
Maybe they do that at the first with them though, just to let them settle and see instead of throwing them in straight out.
I think it might be difficult for him because he's not been used to that.
He's played everywhere he's been in.
And obviously the Scotland squad gets announced and he's not in that because obviously he's not played enough to merit getting into the squad. So there's a bit of frustration, a wee bit of anger as well, which is not a bad thing. But the one thing about, and I've always said to use guys about him is he's got a great attitude and he'll just get the heat done and he'll work and when he gets, the thing is he just wants his opportunity and he's not had that opportunity. So he's not started the game, he's not even had a 20 or a 30 minutes to go and impress. So he's a wee bit frustrated.
See, Liverpool shoots, I've heard that when they signed Robertson, they signed certain players, they give them a 3-4 month period.
Aye.
Getting into the way they train, even half in the gym and stuff like that. So
maybe that is their way, but then they've not had that conversation. Is that the language barrier as well? So he's trying to cross all that, you know. So
what does he say Motta's like though?
But I've not spoken to him, and I'm going to be going out to see him anyway over the next week or so.
Are you going back here?
Oh, I'm going to try and get her as
much as I can. What's your flights, dear?
No. Out for Edinburgh, straight to Bologna, direct flights, I know that dear. But the thing is, when things, I'm missing my fags, I'm missing the old smoke in the morning, the coffee, can't wait to get back out there. Upsets the missus a wee bit, but hey ho. Aye, who gives? Who gives? But so I want to just go, you just want to be there because I'm emotionally invested in him. I just want to see him do well, I want to see him play.
He will do.
If he has he's
got mentality to do it.
But it's just hard at the minute. Then maybe we should have a bit more patience for the boys that come into your country, you know, and because we want them to hit the ground running, and sometimes we go, how's he not playing? How's he not playing well? There's all that stuff that I'm starting to understand that goes on behind the scenes. So, but he is disappointed not being in the Scotland squad because he loves going away with Scotland, and I know that. So there was a wee bit of anger there in the conversation we had, but determination. And that's what you need. So
how does he find out the food and lifestyle?
By the way, that's the one thing, he loves his grub.
And he said the food's brilliant over there.
The food is brilliant.
Do they eat in the training ground?
Aye, and everything that's all put up what they should be eating. There's a big board up and all that, there's all the protein stuff, and they give them a kind of an idea of what they should be eating for their breakfast and their dinner, and they can actually take their dinner away with them.
So they cook them
I would do that every time, would you?
I used to do that at Celtic.
Aye.
Get the leftovers from my dinner.
Brilliant, man.
So it's all there for them, you know. So but it's frustrating if you're not playing, you know that. But I just want him to get the opportunity. He's not had that opportunity, but hopefully if he gets it, he can grasp it. They're all good players. They're all neat, tidy.
They're good standard, of course.
Aye, but I watched the start last night watching Napoli and that, you know. So, but he's.
Who did you say Arnautovic's the best player?
Aye, he is their best player without a shadow of doubt. You look at the goals he
scored
scores
at the weekend,
and he's got that aura about him as well. I mean, I was in the hotel when he walked past, and it was something else. He's got a bit of strut.
Did you see alright to him?
Which is what?
Did you see alright to him?
No, I just to the owner guy that walked past, and the captain come here as well. He's a lovely fella. He speaks good English and all that. But they're all respectable guys. But not tell you what, they're all big boys, you know. You see them? They're all solid, man. So
you told me. I seen you with your
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
But
he looked Italian this morning with the sunglasses on. The second one. Let us see. It's like.
You can see
Italian, isn't he? Oh my lord!
What?
Antonio Cassano.
His skin's horrendous, I know. How's he shocking at it? Has he been learning Italian, Tony? I meant to ask. And you? Because you started really well in the cooking show for the first few years.
El Choco. You heard El Choco? Sonar.
El Choco.
Kev Kyle. El Choco.
That's where we used to go and train with Rangers, El Choco.
There you go.
That's skinny, aye.
Has he been learning Italian?
There was one bit in the hotel that a guy come in, and I think he's the guy that shows them around the new players, the flats and round about Bologna. And this guy goes into this conversation, and Lewis is going, see, and understand it. And I was going, he's just at it, he's just winding us up. But he gets a kind of, he gets adjusted, not all, but it's amazing to see him just like sitting there and then going out and ordering food and drinks. He orders it. It's just weird.
That's brilliant,
Good on him. Have you learned any more?
Absolutely not.
No.
Just
fags and coffee.
Fags and coffee.
Do the club game it? Do they game somebody to teach him, or does he need to go and find that himself?
I think he'll do that. I think he'll get a tutor. But the best way is in amongst the players.
You want a cracker, didn't you? You want to get a wee cracker to teach you.
You keep changing, wouldn't you? You keep changing. You're not committing to me.
But it is. So it's that even out in the training part, you know, initially a lot of the boys that some of them speak really good English, they would let them know. But I think you know what it's like when you're on the park and they're describing tactics and where it should be. I think you understand.
Is it a lot more tactical or not? Because like with the Italian manager, I had it was so tactical.
The training's all 11v11.
That's what we used to do.
It's hardly any small-sided games.
I would hate that.
So I'm a wee bit like you as well. I like the wee small-sided games and it's buzzing about, but it's mostly a lot of that. It's all tactical and they change it round and different formations.
We used to do that for ours as well.
Did they? But they always do that.
11v11.
Did they? Aye. So it must be their culture, their way, innit?
Did you not hate that?
Did hate it, but it does make you a better player. It makes you understand the game. Like I would never be managing now if I never go at the things that he gave us in the 11v11s. It is boring. We take it for 15 minutes, so we try and get a mix of doing that and keeping it live.
It's like us, what do we? Well, I was used to it was just a warm up, some boxes, bit of possession, and a game, and then it wasn't until, like the Friday you'd do a bit of shape. And then set pieces.
Not there every day,
aye, that's what he was saying. Every day they go through all that.
So second, because you see if you're not in the starting 11, you feel boring, terrible, don't you?
It's fucking boring.
You just do go there.
That's with the frustration.
But see, within that, it is boring, but they want your body language to be like you're fucking playing a Champions League final. Do you know what I mean? If you're going through it, stop.
Pulled it.
Well, that's the one thing that was conveyed to him, that you train the way you play, you've got to boom 100 mile an hour. And that's what I said to you early on in one of the podcasts. I couldn't believe when he says they were getting smashed into each other, and that's what
that must be so hard though if it is all tactical and it's in Italian.
And do you know what's hard as well? So if you're not playing like a Lewis, you do that much tacticals. Like, how do you impress in tactical shape? So it's not you're getting a chance to go and fucking impress in training.
And I don't know if it's me at times, but sometimes you don't want to smash into your teammate because you don't want them to get injured. But you'll give them a wee done, but you don't go through them. You know, you hold back a wee bit. Well, maybe I'd said to him, maybe it's time to the shackles come off and just go for it, man. Let's go. Let's go tonto. Let's go mental.
As you know, Si, nothing happens without Grosvenor Sport. Bet £20, get £50 with Grosvenor Casinos. Derek, you enjoy a wee casino in your day?
Aye. When there was nowhere else to go and have a pint, aye.
Right, what we
So,
get a new sign up bet?
this one, but when new sign-ups bet £20 on their online casino, they'll get a £50 free bet to play with. How good is that? Unbelievable. Sign up at gsport.com/open goal. Now on to the Champions League, Derek. Last week you were an angry man. Are you better this week?
A wee bit. Aye, obviously with the level of performance was a whole lot better. Wouldn't be hard to be honest with you. Last night, but obviously the result, it's a Sorian, you know, again coming off a 4-0, 2 4-0s and then it's a 3-0. But there's reasons for that. But they were competitive last night. They were in the game for long periods. So there was a massive improvement. And we shouldn't really be talking this. There was a massive improvement in their attitude and their effort. That should be a given. So I don't know, maybe there was a bit of emotion attached to the game as well last night. Does that get the players up? If it does, well, you need to bottle that and use that game after game. But I was asking last week, they needed to, when you go up against these top teams, I think you need to flood that midfield with the likes of like Jack, with Davis. Now, Davis last night, the two best men in the park for Rangers were the goalie and Davis. McGregor and Davis were top notch.
I was thinking Kent plays better with Davis as well.
Well, do you know something?
Davis passes that ball into him more than other players who maybe want to go backwards and sideways.
I think the players up to a level last night, but I think the manager has to. You're talking about Kent. I wouldn't have put Kent on my side.
We were saying that in the podcast.
I don't think he's given you enough going forward. Certainly not defensively.
Who would you play instead of him?
Who would I play? I would have played Tillman in there last night instead of him with Morelos. And again, it's Rangers are better with Morelos in that side.
100%.
Aye, because of the work ethic and all that. And he was a lucky boy last night. He could have got sent out. He's still got that daftness. And I'm
He's wild, isn't he?
Aye, but they were better because Jack was in there. Davis. Sensational. Lundstrom played a wee in a certain role because they were worried. They were good. They
went 3 at the back, didn't they?
Aye.
Was it 3 at the back?
No, but Lundstrom went in. It was the boy Zelensky and the white boy Jaretov. I can't even.
He's good, that boy.
They were good. Their front four were good. Simone, but Lundstrom just came into that right back area, run about with Tavernier because they were different class going forward. But I like it better with the midfield boys because they've got that natural instinct in them to go and defend, to work their socks off. And Davis last night, we're talking about a 37-year-old, even take away what he'd done on the ball. If you were to watch that game again last night, what he'd done without the ball, he's shutting down, he's instinctiveness.
Still in the right area, isn't he?
Aye. But
what have you done with Faddy?
I know we need his insight, didn't we, big time. But no, he's in the boot of the motor.
But that team, it started last night, should have been the team it started via Ajax. So that's where Van Bronckhorst has got to get criticism.
It's crazy that Alan McGregor's not been in goals for
shocking, absolutely shocking. We've praised him, but we've praised Van Bronckhorst because he tactically has got it right in Europe, clearly when they got to the final. But that performance v Celtic, that team should never have went back out in a Champions League game. Alan McGregor sitting there, no
you can't live in your past, and Van Bronckhorst was good last season in Europe, make no doubt about it, but this season I think he's been found wanting, and I just think last night it just shows you McGregor should be first choice, Davis should be in that team. I'm not saying every week because his age you've got to be careful with him, but certainly at that level I think you needed, I don't think you can afford to have a Kent and a Wright. And we're talking about the Ajax game getting away for him. We were too open. At least there was a bit of solidity about us, a bit of determination, a bit of graft. And that's what you get when you've got Jack Nat in there. Definitely.
Like you say, Jack and that cover the full-back areas so well, I think.
Aye.
That season
it's instinctive. It's instinctive in him. And it's like, I think against Ajax, it was like, on you go. I'm just going to make sure I'm all right. The guys on there last night, they were all trying to look after each other, help each other out.
I don't know how Barisic is still in that team. I really don't. I don't know what the boy Yilmaz is doing in training.
5 million he was, Yilmaz.
I really don't get it, and I don't want to keep on going for Barisic, but last night again, he's getting the ball, and the whole stadium can see there's a player coming behind him, he can't recognise it, and see Barisic, he refuses to close anybody down, ever.
Yeah.
I don't know how he's still in that team.
No,
and do you know something? He turned his back a couple of times. It was balls
and the fans can see it.
He got away with one of them. He actually went in a counter-attack off it. But a couple, he went up and he just turns his back. He's not brave enough. No. And even with the penalty, you know, I see him after the game, he's saying he was running and it's his body shape. We all know by now that you can't have your arms outstretched. You know that they talk about the silhouette. If you look at it again, what is Davis doing? He's just inside him. He's got his arms at his side because you know you've got to keep them there. You know, relatively close to your body. But he goes there. He's not brave enough. Take the smack in the face. I've said it often enough. I'm one of the guys. I'm not having Barisic, and it's terrible to say it because it goes back to way back in February, where he just mentally had gone against Celtic.
It's worrying, but the boy Yilmaz, what is he showing?
Well, see, if Barisic was playing really well, Stoney, then you would maybe think, right, okay, maybe, but if Van Bronckhorst doesn't think Yilmaz is good enough to play with the form Barisic's in right now,
really worrying.
That's a big worry for Rangers.
It was a good part of the budget they've spent as well.
No, he's good going forward. His delivery is excellent, but first and foremost, what are you? You're a defender. Be a bit more aggressive. Be a wee bit more brave. Help. I just think he looks after himself a wee bit too much. And as soon as he done that last night, you just can't afford to have your hands out there. So that was a massive mistake. So it was. But the game, we were always in the game until the sending off.
Yeah.
And he is really unlucky. You know, his first yellow card, you can't argue.
It's an inch away from getting the ball, though, isn't it?
It's exactly for getting the ball in it.
Just a happy bit there.
He was so unlucky, but then obviously when McGregor, I actually fancied McGregor to save it anyway.
I fancied him if he saved the actual second penalty.
I actually thought he was going to get the third.
Do
you know that as well?
Say what he's first, second, third,
I did, honestly. When he gets
I fancied him to get them. He's a number one without a shadow. Even he's saving the first off, the one with his feet.
Yeah.
That was with Simone, wasn't it?
Big moment. And you're thinking, and he hodges his run out as he gets here. I think if he fully commits himself, he either thinks someone else, he might give away a penalty, but he just stops and just gets that slightest touch. He's a top goalkeeper. He is our best goalkeeper. So we've got McGregor and we've got Davis. They were our two best players. So why has the manager not been playing them more often? Certainly in Europe, I don't know. Last night, even McKenna, I couldn't quite fathom out why he took Jack off. You know, he still looked alright. Arfield was still bombing away. I wouldn't have took him off, but I wouldn't have took Jack off. I'd have took Kent off to try and stay in the game. Kent isn't giving us anything. I think he needs to be took out of the equation for a game or two.
Yeah.
See that formation, could you not go Kovacic and Manelis up front? If you're going to play 3-5-2, maybe be a wee bit more.
I just think Choa is a box player.
And it would suit Tavernier and
that's what I'm saying, let Morelos go and run the channels and just let Kovacic stay in the box.
Maybe, possibly. But I would have rather had a Tillman in there, you know, just playing that central role. That at times when Rangers don't get the ball, they can drop in, but when going forward, they can get up and support. And Arfield done that last night. He worked his socks off. And so did Jack at times, he got up there. And Davis just patrolled in the middle part, won some covering. So they get a few things right, but I just think the manager's got to improve as well in his decision making.
100%. Morelos' chance was massive in the first 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a great chance.
He should score now.
He just misses jumped in.
Just slightly, just coming down, but I still think it's there to direct it on target. But that was the difference. We get after them last night.
Yeah.
We were up against them. We were making challenges. I'm not saying go and kick lumps at them, but at least we were competitive, which we haven't been the last couple of games.
It's crazy. I think they never started the Celtic game like that, innit? Right up against them. When you look back and you see.
See, I find it hard. I don't understand that. I'm going, what's in their mindset? You know, is it what's been said before they get that tunnel? Because you know what to expect against Celtic. Yeah. We're going to talk about it anyway. Look at why Celtic start every game. They're 100 mile. You've got to be ready for that. But you've got to be ready for that every game. I'm imagining you with your side. First 20 minutes is so important, isn't it?
Is that no more down to personnel though? the team that started last night, if he started that against Celtic, surely they would have been like that.
Morelos is a big difference in the way he kind of presses and is a nuisance up there.
And McGregor's not going to allow anybody to sit off, or he'll be right on them. Arfield's the same, he'll be getting faces.
McGregor is very vocal. You see him, he can be an angry man, and there's nothing wrong with that. That anger is it's his way of just organising.
Of course.
And McLaughlin's a different character, more laid back. But for me, and ask the question, we've spoke about it, McGregor every day of the week.
Right, is qualification still a possibility for Rangers?
No, it's done now.
No, I don't see them. I just think it's that was better in terms of the level of performance, and we just need more of that. Because we'll struggle against these teams with the squad. We'll not even give into it, because that squad should have been strengthened. It's no where we are at the minute. So just be competitive like last night. 3-0's a soaring, but at least we were in the game, and we were in there with a chance.
Do you see similar system personnel against Dundee United this weekend? Do you need to go and play 3 at the back against Dundee United? So do you need to change it again? That's the problem that he's in just now.
He'll go 4-3-3 again. He'll go, because he'll against.
Think he'll go 4-3-3?
Aye, I think he'll go back to aye.
So and that's just Morelos, so no Kolac?
Aye, I think he's got a choice. He'll either he goes with one or the other.
I think he will change it. Whether that's the right thing to do or not, but I think he will. I think he'll go out. I think that Lundstrom will go into the midfield. But then you're right, Kent's not been doing it, has he?
No, and that's what I'm saying. I think Kent needs to be took out for a game or two and get his. I don't know if it's his head together or whatever. He's great up to a point, but up to a point's no use. You need an end product. He's not getting his end product.
He's not getting any shots.
No, and he's no finding. It's alright if you've seen he was playing some great crosses. He was finding that killer ball. He's not getting us anything at the minute. So sometimes, for his sake as well, and you don't want the fans getting on his back. Here I'm sitting here talking about it, saying it's no good enough. So sometimes he just needs to be took out for a game or two, then get himself back in. Needs to get himself right.
Do you think Van Bronckhorst is under pressure?
Yes.
You're always
from everybody, the fans and
higher up. As a Celtic supporter, right? Would you be happy with 2-4-0 and a 3-0 defeat?
No.
Your last 3 games. So as a Rangers manager, even or a Celtic manager, of course you're under pressure, because you're expected to win games. You're expected to be competitive. And we were up to a point.
It's the manner of the defeats, especially the first 2, isn't it?
So he's got to do better, and this is why we've kept. He said a couple of weeks ago, the manager, that he was happy with his squad. We were all scratching our head, thinking, no, you can always improve. You always look to improve, and that's I cannot understand why he didn't go into the market. Whether he was the board are holding him back in terms of giving him the financial clout behind him, but I don't know. They should have. Because it's evident that's the squad is not good enough at the Champions League level at the minute.
He was scratching his head. Was it you were scratching?
Was.
So cheap, isn't it? That is brilliant.
That's cheap, but it's good,
Can Dundee United get on?
No,
I don't think so. No. Because I think they've got back to a level where they should be. So they'll know that themselves. So, and I'm hoping in that dressing room, even when the manager walks out the door and the coaches, I hope the players, the McGregors, the Davises, even the Lundstroms, the Jacks, the kind of experienced boys, I hope they get around each other and they get themselves going, because that's a level of performance that we need to get near. And if they get there, they will take care of Dundee United.
Although Dundee United usually do alright against Rangers, don't they?
Yep.
Dundee United, when they play defensively, are a hard team to break down.
Will they go there?
I think they will. I think they'll go there and be hard to beat. They've done in the past against Rangers and frustrated them, but I still think Rangers.
The question you put, I would go with 3-5-2 with 2 strikers.
So
it suits Tavernier and Barisic. It's doing a tee that Whitten Boz in, and they two.
That's what I would do if I was Rangers. I'd go Kolac and
that excites me for me, that
box. Put teams under pressure.
Like that, I just don't think he will. But do you know what I mean? But you're talking about Barisic as well. Defensively, he's always found one.
I don't like
as well. Suits Tav to just get bombing up.
I don't think it suits Goldson to play with Sands in a 2 either. I think they're quite susceptible on the counter attack. Seen Ross County when Sands pulls the boys down. I think they're better with 3.
They get caught once or twice last night.
If it's a Davis next to a Goldson, then I think you'd be quite happy with 2 at the back. But for me, Sands is not a natural centre back in a 2.
He isn't a centre back though, is he? He is a centre mid, isn't he?
Centre mid.
And that's not, you get into Champions League with that. That's not right.
No, and that's what. And then we've got the boy Davies, or Davis, how do you pronounce it?
Davies.
Aye, Davies, aye.
Davies.
Why is he no...
Ben Davies.
I mean, fair play the boy King, young boy, delighted for him, but...
Would you stick him in?
No, but, well, that's what I'm saying about Davies, but see, you spent $4
Saying he's injured, didn't he?
What was he on the bench for?
Oh, was he on the bench?
He's on the bench last night.
Aye.
So this is what I'm saying, how can he not come on and play 20 minutes, 25 minutes? So, but I'm delighted for the boy, King, getting his opportunity, but when you spend that amount of money, you expect him to be taking part to get minutes, so is he injured? If he's injured, don't put him on the bench.
Good point. Right, on to Celtic, Paul. There's a frustration among Celtic fans that never took 3 points last night. Do you share those frustrations? You've got different
I was very frustrated after the game because we had the chances there. Celtic had the chance.
We had the chance. You turned it to John Hartson, mate.
John Hartson, Big Kev, innit? Celtic had the chances. That was the frustration, but as I said earlier before we came on air, in all my life watching Celtic, I've never seen Celtic go away from home in the Champions League and dominate it.
Second half was complete domination.
Shakhtar couldn't get it. And you can't really do much more for a team. Like, if you're creating the chances, then that's a brilliant performance. I really think so.
First 15 minutes.
Wow.
And that team continued to try and play out, and they just were on them, weren't they?
Do you think they came in Celtic after 15, Celtic kind of backed off almost to the halfway line, and it allowed them to go and play a wee bit more?
But I sometimes think the way Celtic play, you can't keep that pace up. You sometimes need a wee breather. They just don't let teams breathe for the first 15, 20 minutes, don't they? Not?
It's interesting you say that, Derek, because somebody said last night that Rangers had more possession against Celtic. The 4-0 game there.
4-0 game,
So Celtic did come right out, but I wonder if it maybe after 15, 20 minutes, maybe they do say, well, sit off it a wee bit. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think, I don't think you can keep that up, can you? Well, I don't think
you can.
Can you?
I think so.
That level?
Especially now you get to make 5 subs, I think you can do it.
Well, they were doing it in the second half, weren't they?
Yeah, they went back to the second half.
But I think in the first half, I think when they lost away a wee bit, I actually think it was on the ball. I think they were giving it away too much.
Yeah.
And that's when they want to keep it. When they go, they were getting it back to Shakhtar, and then Shakhtar, the boy, the left winger was outstanding. I told you that before the game.
He could play.
He came on for Ukraine against Scotland.
Yeah.
Boy, it scored last night.
Yeah, play, but I thought Celtic were really
even
good.
It's not just physically, it's mentally. You'll maybe switch off a wee bit at times, because you know what it's like to start of the game. Your senses are heightened, you're at it, and then I think it's natural that you just do that in a game, that you're dominating, that you're controlling the game so much.
That all being said though, will Celtic...
They really miss chances?
Aye.
You need, that's the difference. You can be as good a coach as you want, but at that level you need players that when you get the chances to take them. Because it's not like they're half chances, mate, they're
massive
right chances. And again, Abadan, we talked about Real Madrid, he scores that chance that he gets.
Made as well.
Made that last night.
Made it even via Real Madrid, made as well.
Yeah, made that against
5 yards out, misses. Can he do that at this level?
No.
And even though he's stretching, Maeda, I think he should still should be guided on target.
Last night, I agree, mate.
Shouldn't Even though he's
stretching. I think if he anticipates just that wee bit quicker as well.
I think even at the stretch, I think you should be able to kind of control that and get it on target.
Well, look at Shakhtar. Other than their goal, one chance of getting the boy roofs it.
See, on that, do you think Joe Hart should have done better?
I think he should save it,
Do you not think he ducked?
I think so.
Aye.
Because I've not heard a lot of people saying it.
I think he should save it, mate.
I think, again, so we're talking about Barisic earlier, you know, as a defender, even as a goalie, just make yourself big. If it scalps you in the face, hey ho, you've saved it. And I think you just seen him ducking away.
You just want everyone scalped in the face, you did, didn't you?
Aye, but it just
want to punch fuck it every day.
He's angry now, isn't he?
No. Faddy's got
you.
Where's that? I can hear him.
You're still the number one pundit, it's fine.
Would you get the tap off ever just for a show for us?
Oh, we've got a bit of colour about us. No, but let's get back to Hart.
People would be buzzing with that though, generally, wouldn't they?
What?
If he sat naked in the show.
Honestly,
no, they wouldn't. I think
they would, mate.
They'd be scared for life. But he should make himself.
I'd be all over you, though, man. I would be all over you. I wouldn't be able to keep my hands off you.
Help! Help!
You should put it down. But again, you need to have a wee bit of realism as well with your frustrations. The fact that, like you say, they're going away for home in the Champions League and dominating for what, 60, 70 minutes of the game?
100%.
What he's done, again, I know we'll talk about, what he's done in the space of, was it 15 months is incredible.
Did you hear him with one of the reporters last night? Just gave it to him.
Oh my God.
he?
Imagine you were at the port, your arsehole's
He asked him to sit closer to the... He went through everything. He explained everything.
What did he say?
And the guy asked him to come closer to the mic and he just tells him...
Don't interrupt her, son. Don't like the way you're being.
What's horrible.
But he does it now. The right way, isn't it? He has a good lesson.
Is it Giamakis? I thought that's a goal. Left foot. It's a bit hard one. I think it's a wee bit behind him when he's on his left foot, but
he should bury that.
I think he should score as well.
Aye. George as well was going to cross into and he just can't get his...
He was an amazing dribbling man, wasn't he? He just didn't know when to shoot.
Aye, but that one you're talking about there.
But even like you talk about like not just what he's done with the team, but with boys like Greg Taylor. Greg Taylor was outstanding last night.
Brilliant, and he has been for the full season. He's been brilliant this season, Greg Taylor, hasn't he?
Aye, and he's...
See now the double header with Leipzig. I'm worried about that.
Why?
Because he brought that new manager in, and I don't like it. Shakhtar got the last manager and they wanted him out. So they down tools. Now they brought this new boy and they just beat Dortmund 2-0 at the weekend.
Leipzig.
See the way you're thinking?
So they're different. They're a different team now to that first game. I watched Shakhtar last night. Celtic were good, but Shakhtar weren't great.
No. See that mindset you've got, I don't think Celtic manager and the Celtic players have got that mindset at the minute.
No way.
That's what I'm saying. Your mindset, because I think the opposite. They're looking forward to this double header. They can't wait. They want to go out and show what they're all about.
I think Celtic beat Leipzig at home.
Aye. I tell you what.
And you say that about Shakhtar, right? I know they're not a great team, but what they did show is that what you said, that they're a good counter-attacking team.
They're really good.
And I think that's why they maybe get results in Europe.
Well, that was other goals against Leipzig.
So you would keep him away from the Celtic dressing room?
Oh, you keep that away,
that mindset,
100%, mate.
You might need to be careful with that with your team, me and the boys. Can we bring them all down, wouldn't it? You're not noticing it.
No, well, you're the main man, mate. You're the main man. So what do they need? I think they need a point away from home and to win their two next home, the two home games against Shakhtar and Leipzig.
Well, the points.
That gets you through now. If you beat the two at home and you get a point away at Leipzig.
Aye. Well, Shakhtar's on 4, Leipzig's on 0, Celtic's on 1. Aye, you're right. That'll get Celtic through. 8
points. Madrid, I think Madrid will win every game in the group.
Aye, they're a class act, aren't they?
Yeah.
And they're not just the Celtic game. They were going through a hard period in that first half, weren't they? They stuck at it.
Yeah.
As good as they are, they've still got that mentality. They still dig in.
That's a difference, isn't it?
That is a difference.
Do you know who's outrageous, by the way? Rio Hatate. He's brilliant, isn't he?
They just go for it. See the Celtic players, certainly that midfield, the Riley and the Hatate, they go for it. They don't hold nothing back. Yeah. And when they've gone, they're out on their feet, and the manager obviously recognise that. If you come, next 3 go in, or 2 or 3. Well, it was Turnbull and what do you call him? Moy went on last night.
But even that's kind of seamless, isn't it? It's not like it takes out in and away from them for 5-10 minutes. They came on and they were bang at it, the 3 of them.
But I think it's good if you're looking at that you should go for it. Don't hold anything back. Many times you see players they'll maybe try to save a wee bit for later on in the game. No, just go for it.
Your lot. Give it
and
your lot. Come off, you come off.
If you're knackered, just put your horn up.
Did you watch both games in the house?
Aye. Oh, aye.
Did you know what to go? Did you know go to the Rangers games? No.
I never really go.
That's poor. That how you're not getting invited to that.
Well, my boys weren't there last night, I know. Because
the price was a shocker.
They were looking for. Well, they couldn't get one anyway because they're in that. I was talking to you about that my Jers. So, but they never. But if they did get the opportunity, we still would have asked the pilot 70-odd quid, 71 quid.
That's 2 dances for him.
He gets that quickly, didn't he?
But it's some amount of dough in it. You know, if you're going with your I don't know, if you're taking somebody, what a money.
What do you eat when you're watching a game?
Oh, I'm just cups of tea. No.
Do you know an ice cream last night? What did you have for your dinner last night?
What did I have? I did carrot. She made kind of wraps and all that, and like patatas bravas and all that.
Fucking hell.
She's very
lucky boy.
Very skillful.
Be nice to get a wee-invite up after 5 years and taking them from the bottom up to the top, innit? You think you maybe get asked
why
to go
don't we talk about Cummins then for a wee second or two? Jason Cummins.
Look at we've made his career again.
His career's
amazing.
Not a thanks.
That's one of the best 10 minutes I've had throughout my career is sitting watching you and Cummins sitting before the Hydro.
But everybody likes this.
Because I was sitting having a couple of beers watching the 2 of them. You know,
I seen Jenny
that was
night.
entertainment, by the way.
So I was wrestling.
2 guys in the zone.
Yeah, 2 maniacs, wasn't it?
I was doing wrestling and I seen Charles
was calling.
Charlie shook his head at us that way. He's like, fuck, am I doing here with these two? That's what they call it.
He said to you that night, I'll go and play for Australia, didn't he?
He did say it that night, aye.
How good's that?
Amazing.
That's brilliant.
And so, is this just the sort of squad before the actual squad gets picked?
No,
for the World Cup?
Alright, I don't know, it's not the World Cup squad.
Not the World Cup squad yet?
Aye, whatever it is.
Imagine making the World Cup.
I know.
Fucking hell.
Aye, great. I love that.
Surely when he comes back, first interview, I think he watches this, the first interview's got to be on here, innit?
Aye.
You better not do any of them.
Him dressed as a Joker. And me dressed as a Joker.
Aye. See behind the scenes at the Hydro.
Was that done, do you think, if it ripped arse like that?
I kept telling Jason it was all about him that night. I said, you go in that
You've
stage.
killed us, but
You're the worst. You're trying to put on a fucking show and you're putting rubbish in his
The
head.
bouncers were marking him and all that, walking everywhere with him just because he was desperate to go on.
You see, they wanted to go up and pull as soon as his tash off him, didn't
He never even had a tash. I'm going to slap the tash off him. I was like, he's not got a tash.
He's like, aye, he has. I seen him peeking out trying to get on the stage again.
Oh, brilliant.
He was.
Right, we're on to the domestic stuff.
Hibs Aberdeen.
We've missed the domestic stuff.
Aye. Ah, well.
What
Hibs
a game
Aberdeen, is
that
that a
is.
humdinger?
What a game that is.
You think?
Aye.
Yes.
Two massive clubs, isn't it?
I was going to go at it.
Two massive clubs that
You've been going to every game this week.
I've not been any.
that underperformed last season. So
Both clubs?
Both of them. Aye, big time, didn't they? Aberdeen had a really poor season, same as Hibs. So they've got that. Well, certainly Aberdeen, all the changes, starting to get their act together. Had a good start of the season. Hibs are still finding their way, but
they picked up a wee bit Hibs now.
Aye, that's what I'm saying. That's because I think Hibs will get better as the season wears on. So that's a cracker, by the way. And it's a game that two of them will fancy it. So when you get that, I think that makes for a good game. So both sets of players will fancy winning that.
Am I right in saying that Jim Goodwin goes for every game? I know St Mirren maybe played a wee bit more defensive, but when I watch his Aberdeen team, even away from home, he goes to try and win now.
I think he does.
Yeah. I think you need to have that mentality as an Aberdeen manager, don't you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I've obviously watched the highlights.
Oh, you're not bothered about him now, your boys are right.
But I'm listening into the games now, and what I've kind of a take for the games I've listened in, that when they've been up against teams in the first half, they're not dominating the games.
Right.
They've struggled a wee bit, and that's what I think I mentioned to you yesterday, like kind of the sending halves against them.
I've helped them at home,
get the results. So that's why, and Hibs are an improving side. I agree with that. And because the boys have took a wee bit of time to settle, and that's what happens. So that's how I'm thinking. I would kind of edging towards kind of Hibs in that game.
I think Aberdeen.
I know. You right away, you're like fancy Aberdeen.
Aye.
What is it you like about Aberdeen?
It's just sort of Jim Goodwin. I like the players he's signed. I like his style.
I've not got a clue.
Well, I have. I think they'll do well.
What players you like?
Thought the big boy came for CELTIC, outstanding.
Anything else?
And the striker's good.
Yeah, it's good, Paul.
And
is it Miofsky?
Miofsky, and that's I always say any team, you're only as good as your striker. I really believe so.
Right?
I think
Never
so.
said that to me. Maybe if your coach would share that information with me instead of telling everyone else.
And the young boy for Liverpool.
When have you ever? Who have you said? Sorry, who have you said that you're only as good as your striker?
Just old boy in that.
You're that.
I'm not talking about this season. I know. The worst is when he plays in the games.
That's the first I've heard. You're only as good as your striker, right? Is that your new thing?
See when he starts the games, he comes off at half time. He goes, "Actually, what did you see me?" Honestly,
no, you're doing
he's fucking
disservice.
No, I swear to God. No, listen, you're only as good as your striker.
So Man City won the league last year when they striker. Hey ho.
Oh, what about him last night? What about the big fella? What about the big?
But
Liverpool striker have scored the goal.
You look at Rangers without Morelos. You're only as good as your striker, eh?
Yes.
Not a fucking problem.
See Big Haaland's goal last night?
Oh, he's a freak, mate, isn't he? Did you see the reporter, Tom? Bruce, you obviously know how to stop you, and he's like, well, they didn't because I just scored. Did you see him? Brilliant. Put the reporter right in his place, man. He's a freak, though.
He's a beast.
I think he'll score $1 million this year.
$1 million, aye. $1,000,001, maybe.
I think he gets 35 goals this year in all competitions.
Aye, easy. You could see him scoring 1 or 2 at least every game.
Yeah.
He plays, aye.
He'll be the greatest striker of all time, isn't he?
That could be a good shout, mate. He's got everything he's done it.
He's scored different goals this season. They're all around about that kind of 6-yard box, a lot of them, isn't he? But then when you watched them with Dortmund,
sorry, again, I don't want. You've just said he scored all sorts of different goals. Then you said they've all been.
Well, he scores all sorts of different.
In that 6 yards,
because what I was going to get back to was the Dortmund. See, you used to see him with Dortmund. You used to see him turn away. You know, running 30 yards, scalping it. But he scored a lot.
He scores the greatest 5 goals ever, didn't he?
Oh, so you mean in the past?
You dig me up.
You mean in the past as well? So you've seen them score goals at Borussia Dortmund. Now you've seen that.
Different types of goals. He's scoring different ones because, well, look the ammunition he's getting.
Yes. Right. He scores the greatest 5-yard goals. I thought you'd buy him on the tighty.
I'm going. I'm just having it.
I thought you'd buy him on the tighty.
The one-eyed monsters, man.
Oh, that's crazy.
Right, so you fancy Hibs? You fancy Aberdeen?
Listen,
let's get you doing carrying that about.
Let's get a forfeit. By the way, if Aberdeen win,
naked,
we're doing something.
No, because Aberdeen. No, what I'm saying is Aberdeen could quite possibly win that, and they'll fancy themselves. But what I'm saying is they've been maybe a wee bit fortunate in certain games, but they've got that level of confidence about them. Hibs are an improving side. So, but you're going for Aberdeen. You're not going to give me a forfeit. I just fancy Hibs because they're at home.
You know what? I mean, forfeit for both of.
I know you just said that'll be a draw.
I was going to sit in the fence, but I just fancy Hibs for some reason.
We've got someone else you can
sit in that. Don't be sitting in that anyway.
You'd be desperate to lose if that was the forfeit. Have you just bought that?
That wee shot again.
I saw that shot as I was walking down here. Are you in there all the time?
Is that like your face was pressed up against the window?
Had to grab him off it.
He was in the shot one day.
Right, Scotland squad.
Well, here's a unbelievable question.
Go for it, mate.
You said that the Bologna manager didn't have the chat with Lewis about not playing him. Did the Scotland manager have a chat with him?
Yep, which is first class.
What the question first before the
great question, makes it's not on the sheet.
Because that's just respect, isn't it? And I think that's what Clark does, is go at that. And it's because there's nothing worse if you're maybe waiting in a squad coming in and then you see it and you're not in it and you obviously be deflated. But obviously, gives him a phone call, explains why, and he's right, isn't he? Absolutely, because he's not had enough game time. And as much as Lewis is disappointed, it's probably a right decision at the minute. So he just needs to get the head down and. But that's what Clark's all about, isn't it?
Yeah. I like that for Clark.
But it's going to have an adverse effect, isn't it? Because I think John Carver's going to resign.
He's raging, isn't he?
He's raging.
Can we?
Who do you think will get pulled in instead of Lewis instead of Sharon McCarthy?
Oh. Can we get the squad up a minute?
Another one I need to say, right? How's Barry Mackay on it?
Oh, that's shocking.
It's a good shout for Mackay, isn't it? Because he's.
What do you need to do to get in the Scotland squad?
But I think we've spoke about this with Clark that he is loyal.
He's loyal.
Aye, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know,
unless there's being loyal and there's.
You'd always like to add that type of player in. He's went for Fraser, and Fraser didn't want to play last season, so a wee bit surprised. Mackay could have been in instead of Fraser.
Yeah, that's not a bad shout.
And again, I think he would maybe go up a notch with better players running about him.
Yeah,
because you've got the right players running about making it runs.
100%.
Aye, but Fraser, that always doesn't he sit well really with me when you've refused to go and play with the national side or go away with the squad, then you're called back in. But obviously they've had the conversation and Clark's obviously happy with that, with what he said to him.
Bit soul destroying for Barry Mackay, innit, the way he started the season and how he played last season as well.
But I'm looking at the squad here. I don't think none of these boys are playing.
Who? Go in, tell us who.
I don't know if this is the right squad I've got here, but
boy,
no, it's no. I couldn't get off. Cara Devine's not feeling
only fans isn't the get off that nonsense and get in the Scotland squad.
I don't
think there's anybody in the squad that's surprises.
No, but I want to check if Clark's at the wind up here with Lewis or not. Because he said to him he's not picked him because he's not been playing.
Aye.
Who else he says not been playing?
I need to get this squad up. I can't find it.
But remember, boys that you're saying have not been playing have still maybe been coming on and playing here and there, whereas Lewis has played how many minutes? If it was 13 minutes.
Aye, something like that. So it's not enough, and he's frustrated about it. But it's a learning curve. It's new to him. But it doesn't. The thing is, it doesn't faze him. But that's what I'm saying, he loves going away with Scotland. He loves that.
He loves his country, doesn't he?
Aye, he loves that.
There isn't a better feeling as a player, is there?
No, and he's gutted about it.
Who's he pally with? Has he got players that he's pally with?
Turnbull.
No, I'm saying it, Bologna.
Bologna.
Younger boys,
I don't know.
Older squad, no.
Aye, they're all, if you look at the age group with them, they're all 22, 23, 24. Right. They're all young guys. I think that's partly what they do at Bologna. They get these guys in, play them, sell them on. That's how
Nathan Patterson?
No, Patterson's been brilliant for Everton this year.
Outstanding.
Aye.
He has been really good. Everton fans love him.
He's been doing excellent, he has. No. He spot Billy Gilmore?
He's not played a lot. No, he's not played a lot.
Billy Gilmore's played really well for Scotland in games, hasn't he?
Aye, he's been a starter for Scotland. No, he's probably got it right, Clark.
After all that,
fucking 5 minutes.
Cheers, Larry.
Right, Derek, you ready for the games?
Yes.
Here we go. Rangers, Dundee United.
Rangers.
You're very confident there.
Yeah, because they're up to levels. Although they've got beat by Napoli, a really good side, but they know they need to win, basically. You can't afford a draw or a loss now. We've got to keep on the tails of Celtic, so a win for Rangers. A game that we've not touched on today is Livingston-Kilmarnock. Oof.
That should be a good game.
That's a cracker, but Livy, Martindale made brought another couple of guys, players into his squad. They've hit the ground running, they're at home. I think they'll have the bit between their teeth. They'll make it, listen, Kelly will make it hard for them. Because they've been through that wee period at the start, Kelly, but they didn't start too great, but starting to find a wee bit of form. But I just fancy Livy.
Montano's been good for Livy. Played on at Swindon, good player.
Has he?
Isn't he?
Really good.
Aye, Newbley's a handful. I'm trying to remember
Pittman's always good, isn't he?
Aye, they're good in the middle of the park. They're good all over. So they're, Livingston. I'm going to go for Livingston.
Motherwell Hearts.
That's the game of the weekend for me.
Motherwell win that.
That'll be a great game.
I think Motherwell win it.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I was edging. So that's what I was edging towards Motherwell. Remember, I was saying that's a feisty old game, Matt. So as people don't realise that.
Bad blood at times, isn't it?
Aye, there is a wee bit of that. Hearts have just kind of went off the boil a wee bit. They're in Europe. You just wonder about injuries. Motherwell at home under Stevie Hamill. I just fancy Motherwell to nick that.
I think you're spot on there. And Hibs. No, you've already said that one.
Aye.
St Johnstone, Ross County, that's a tough one.
St Johnstone,
have a bit of form as well.
I think that's a draw.
St Johnstone got good players, mate.
He's done well,
he's brought in good players.
Aye.
What are you thinking, Derek, in that one then?
Aye, and that's what I'm edging towards St Johnstone. But do you know something? I'm going to go a draw. See the more I've thought about it the last.
I think you're spot on.
I'm going to go with a draw with that. Aye. I think, yes, I was talking the other day and I thought, St Johnstone, they win that, but the more I think about it, with County and the way they are, I think a draw.
Right, Paul, do you want me to ask you?
Aye, please.
Right, I'm going to give you St Mirren v Celtic, Sunday at 12
Celtic,
o'clock.
3-4.
Dang, 3-4, Right. A lot of changes. Moy in that play, maybe? Moy
is there a midweek game next week?
Giamakis.
I think there'll be a lot of changes, no?
No,
maybe a couple in, but maybe not a lot, no.
Okay, I'm going to give you Livy v Kelly as well.
Livingston, 2-0.
No, I'm going to go draw on that. Motherwell Hearts.
I think Motherwell beat them. I think Hearts are no playing anywhere near the world last season. Another European game the night.
Thursday.
And that, if depending on that result, their confidence is very low in New Hearts. I think Motherwell will take them.
Wow. Motherwell, great signing with Moult.
What do you think, if you don't mind me asking?
Draw.
You going for a draw with that one?
I think that'll be a draw. Rangers v Dundee United.
Rangers.
Comfortable?
Aye.
Well, let James out. Nah. I'll take him down to Loch Lomond.
Loch Lomond's that where you would take him?
Aye.
What, and drown him?
Oh, why not?
Could you lift him yourself?
No, I'll just throw the motor into the water.
Do you like...
What a man.